Hello everybody, this feels weird. I haven't sat down and set up my camera and just had like a chinwag with you guys for a really long time now. It was actually, the last vlog I did was in November 2019, so that's a really long time ago, and the reason for that was because the two vlogs that I did bring out after that for December and January, I think, were open mic night vlogs, so it wasn't actually me just sitting down and updating you, and I've got so much to talk to you about. So I've made a little notepad file because you know, I'm old, my memory can't remember everything that I wanted to talk to you about, so let's get into it. So first of all, Happy New Year. I hope you had a lovely Christmas. I feel like I haven't even taken the time to say that to you guys, so I hope you had a really nice time doing whatever it was that you was doing. So the first thing that I wanted to talk to you about is the open mic nights that I did. If you've been following me, then you would know that I performed at BlizzCon in 2019 and it was insane. I know I've already spoken about this, but still not over it. I don't think I'll ever get over it. Proper endgame moment, guys. And so it kind of lit a fire in me to, you know, really start practicing singing live, and I've only done 2 open mic nights, but I've learned so much just from those two venues. And one of them is that I actually prefer my live singing voice to my recording voice, and I've been kind of trying to figure out why that is. I think it's because I have a lot of adrenaline going through me when I'm singing live, and it requires a lot more thought in the moment, because you know you can't make mistakes, because you can't just do the take again like I would if I was recording here. And I feel like the adrenaline kind of helps to spur on my support, and therefore my vibrato feels better, it feels stronger, I feel like I've got more control over it. And I think recording here has kind of become almost a lazy thing. I almost become lazy with singing because I know that I've got the opportunity to just scrap what I've done and start again as many times as I need to. So I've been trying to incorporate and bring my live performance voice into my studio. But the first open mic night that I did was at like this really big venue. It's the hub of Frome. It's called the Cheese and Grain, and it's where like everyone, what's their name? Foo Fighters have performed there. I think Metallica performed there. Like, it's the hub of Frome. So obviously that was my first venue, and I forgot the lyrics to Tell Drusilla Burns. I can't remember if I told you about this, but Tell Drusilla Burns was the song that I performed at BlizzCon, and I had that down. Like, I had those lyrics down. I could recite them in my sleep, and I forgot them at the Cheese and Grain open mic night. So have no idea what happened there. I think because I'd been earworming that song for like 4 months odd leading up to BlizzCon, my brain after BlizzCon kind of went, you don't have to sing it again for a little while, you can just forget about it. And I kind of did just that. I forgot about it, and then I actually forgot the lyrics on the night. So hey ho, it happened, but I did go home after the gig and beat myself up about it. I'm one of those people, and everyone's like, let it go, it was great, you had fun, like you did what you wanted to do and it was good. But I'm one of those people that would just lie in bed at night and just go, oh my god, how did I forget the lyrics? How, why? The second open mic night that I did was with Ian at 23 Bath Street, which is a little pub up the way in Frome, and it was great, and the guy that was running it was really good, and I just feel like we went to the venue prior. Like, I've been to the Cheese and Grain plenty of times prior, but I'd never met any of the people that were kind of hosting it and all that, so it was like meeting them for the first time. But when I went to the open mic night at 23 Bath Street, I'd gone there previously to watch one of the open mic nights, and I got to know the barman and the guy that was hosting it, so just felt a bit more comfortable, and also it just felt more relaxed. At the Cheese and Grain, it was quite rammed. There was like a reuniting party or something, like people that went to a certain school were like all meeting back up together, like in their sort of late 40s, 50s. And they were throwing a big party, so there was loads of people there, and it was quite like, oh my god, there's so many people. But But yeah, I enjoyed both of them, and I need to do another one. I've just missed the one at Cheese and Grain again. I totally forgot about it because for other reasons, it was Ian's birthday and things like that. But I do need to get booking another one. So also, oh my god, The Witcher on Netflix, insane. I was so happy with it. There's so many controversial discussions about it, but I couldn't have been happier. Like, as I was watching it, I was just thinking everything about this is just so spot on for me. I really, really enjoyed it. I have played through half of The Witcher 1. I didn't play through The Witcher 2, but I have completed The Witcher 3 and the Blood and Wine DLC. But there was another DLC that I don't think I've quite worked through yet. But in relation to the games and translating it onto screen, amazing. I just thought... And you know, the weirdest thing was... when I first saw Yennefer in the trailer, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, Yen does not look like Yennefer. But she was... Her personality and the way she carried herself in the series was incredible, and I couldn't fault her. I just thought she just played the perfect Yen, her voice, her attitude. She was amazing. Triss, I still can't understand. Maybe I missed something in the books. The same with Jaskia. Like, I still am confused at the name, and I don't know if that's something that was different in the books, and because I've never read them. So, but I absolutely loved the series, and obviously inspired all of the bards around the world to start writing their own fan fiction, fan music for it. And my first release was The Last Wish, because I had to get Yen out of my system. I really enjoyed watching her, and I just had so much of my own magic to put out there, to get out of me, get it out of my system. And I just loved writing that song and working on it. Ian wrote the whole song, all the chords and the melody for the song, and we put it onto my computer, and then I went ahead and did an arrangement around that and figured out where the melodies were going to go, and it just came out everything that I wanted it to be. It was mysterious and magical and ethereal, and I'm really happy with that. And then the whole time I was working on that, there was like untold Toss a Coin covers coming out everywhere. My front page on YouTube was just toss a coin, toss a coin, toss a coin, toss a coin. I was like, oh my god, I really want to do this too, but I didn't want to rush it. And you know what, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be to just take my time. A lot of the time I rush original music, not original music, but music that I'm composing from scratch into my my music software. I tend to rush a little bit, but I didn't want to rush Toss a Coin, and I knew that I wanted to take it in the same direction as The Last Wish, with a more ethereal feel to it. And I totally got it in a place where I wanted it, and it took a fortnight, and the whole hubbub of Toss a Coin had died down by that point. But I don't care. Like, I'm so happy with how it came out, and I hope you guys enjoyed listening to those two songs. So in other news, as you guys know, I've been learning to drive. I'm quite happy on the roads now. So many things have happened though on my driving lessons. I nearly knocked a guy down on a zebra crossing because he walked out in front of my car when the lights were still green. So, you know, don't do that. Don't scare learners that way, okay? And, you know, my heel starts aren't great, but, you know. And so anyway, I feel quite comfortable with learning how to drive, with driving. I'm at a point now where I'm okay. But I had my driving test, when was it? I think it was last Monday, and so my driving instructor, we drove there and practiced the Bay Park. It was absolutely fine. But there's this roundabout, I'll see if I can put a picture in, I put it on Twitter. So there's this huge roundabout, it's called the Longfield Roundabout in Trowbridge, and it's traffic light controlled, and it goes into 3 lanes, and it's just a bit of a nightmare. And I wasn't 100% confident going into my test on that roundabout anyway. So at the driving test centre, my driving test guy was huge, okay? He was like, I don't even know how he got in the car. Like, he got in and he was like with his clipboard, and he was like, oh, alright, okay Jenna, are you ready for this? And I was like, yeah, sort of. I remember saying to him that my mouth was the driest it had ever been in my entire life. I was so nervous, and I really big things up in my mind. I'm really bad with that. I build things up and build things up until I'm this big ball of I'm just a big hot mess basically. And I was trying not to let it get that way, because driving does increase my heart rate anyway. I can feel my heart going, but be sat next to this bouncer guy as well, and he's got a clipboard, and the feeling of being observed just makes me just a bit which is why I struggle with live performing, because I just anyway, so we pulled out of the driving test centre, and we're going along. Everything was fine. I missed a couple of turns. I had to follow the sat nav, and then I had to follow signs, and I had to follow his instruction, and everything was fine. And he did the show me tell me thing, so you know, before we left I had to lift the bonnet up and do the dipstick and all that. And as we was driving along, he said demiss the rear window, which is so easy in this Ford Fiesta that I'm learning in. Anyway, we got back and we did the bay park, which was the last manoeuvre. And I sort of went into the bay, and I said, oh, I might just straighten up a little bit. And he went, no, it's all right, all your wheels are in. And I knew straight away then that I'd failed, because they're not supposed to tell you if your wheels are in. If you don't have all 4 wheels in the bay, you fail automatically. So I was like, why is he telling me that I've obviously failed? He went and got my driving instructor. He jumped in the bag. And he was like, okay, I'm sorry to tell you that you failed. So I got 2 minors on my driving, and the maximum is 15. So coming away from that, even though I failed, I'm so happy to know that my driving is like proper test standard. Like, I got 2 minors. I'm so proud of that. I'm really, really happy, because if I'd come away with like 7 or 8 minors, I think I would have really felt quite downhearted and downtrodden about it, because I would have been thinking, you know, my driving is still not good. So I was pleased about that, but I technically failed my test 3 times during my test, with 3 majors. So the first major was that I messed up the roundabout. I messed up Longfield Roundabout. So right at the start of my test, that guy failed me, and then he had to sit there for another 40 minutes knowing that I'd failed. That must be so annoying for a test instructor. So I failed on that because I didn't change lanes at the right time, and I failed on a traffic light because I'm dumb, that has the green arrow. So everything's red, I'm going left, and the green arrow turns up, and I'm sat there like this, and to be honest, I couldn't really see the green arrow. I could only see like the blades coming out the front of it, and I'm trying to look around his bloody huge nonce, and I saw it go green, and I sort of thought to myself, shit, I think I can go. But it was a huge junction, guys. It was intimidating. It was huge. So I'm sat there, and then I heard toot, 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 and a couple of people were tooting. I went, oh, okay, yeah, sorry everybody, and just went round. I failed then because I didn't go on the traffic light. And the third thing I failed on, which I would, if this thing had been the thing that I had actually failed my whole test on, I would have disputed it, because I 100% disagree. He told me that I grazed some parked cars, and I know for a fact that I didn't, because that was the first thing that I said on my driving lessons with Marcus, was that I feel like I can't get used to the width of the car. Now, I am so comfortable with the width of the car, that is not an issue, and I do not remember grazing any cars whatsoever, so I would have disputed it. So anyway, I failed, but I have my next test booked in for March, so fingers crossed. I just want to get this done. I'm 34, I'm nearly 35, I just want to get it done. I'm so done with driving lessons now, so wish me luck. So last weekend, just gone, it was Ian's birthday, yesterday actually, and the night before we went into Bristol, to the Bristol Hippodrome, which is a huge theatre, and we watched the Book of Mormon, and it was written by the creators of South Park, I think, and Team America, so you can imagine what it was like. It was hilarious. I recommend it to anybody. It's a religious comedy, so if you're a religious person and you take your religion quite seriously, then it might be highly offensive. So just bear that in mind. It's called the Book of Mormon, but it is a comedy, and it is a huge P-take, basically. So bear that in mind. And it was really, really good, really funny. The only thing was, right, I mean, how unlucky is this? We get in there and our seats are right on the back row, and we sat down. And there was this woman that was sat next to Ian, and she was coughing and spluttering and sneezing and wiping her nose upwards and then putting it on her leg, and she was so ill. And I don't get it. She was snorting up like every 3 or 4 seconds. Just take a tissue, just put a tissue under your nose. And why? And the AC was like directly behind us, and it was this huge unit, and I was just, every time I could feel the AC blow on me, I was like, oh God. And I felt so, I mean, I was happy to be sat next to her, to be honest, because I felt so bad for the girl in front of her. There was obviously the rows, and the woman was just coughing and sneezing directly onto the back of this girl's hair, and her boyfriend was getting so mad. And I just thought, why are you here? Like, the coronavirus is going around. Why are you here? Like, why couldn't you have just stayed? I know that you've got tickets for a show, but you could be making everyone sick. And you're not even covering your mouth when you're sneezing or coughing. It was so annoying. And then, like, I was talking to Ian, we stood up and I was chatting to Ian on the interval, and she's gone by me, and I was like, and she's gone round, and as she's walked, I had my arm just kind of resting on her. She's gone around, like pushed my arm off the thing as she's walking around. She just literally had no, you know, like when you meet these people that just have no situational awareness apart from themselves. That it was like, do you know, she reminded me of Monica's fraud Monica in Friends. That kind of woman. And I was just like, how unlucky are we that we've got put next to this woman. So I don't know if you know, but Ian is a late onset type 1 diabetic. He got diabetes when he was 37, and he has been managing it himself, obviously, for 3 years now. And he's just been given a thing called a Libra, which is like a circle that goes into the arm, and there's constantly a needle in the skin that monitors your blood sugar levels. So he was given one of those yesterday on his birthday. And it's going okay. The only problem that we've seen with it so far, basically what it does, if you're a diabetic, you have to prick your fingers to draw blood to test your blood sugar levels. So this takes away from having to do that, because the needle is always in your arm, and you just take your phone, you have an app on your phone, and then you just beep over it, and it tells you what your blood sugar level is. And it also can tell you if you're rising or declining. The problem that we had last night, it was the first night of him wearing it, was that he woke up at 1:30 in the morning and tested, and it just said low with a big red light. And I didn't know, I was asleep next to him, and he does have hypos in the night, and he will just get up and go and eat and then wait and then come back to bed again. So I've woken up this morning, I woke up at about 5:30, and I just sort of looked over at my phone and had these notifications saying low, 2.6, 2.6, 3.2, and I was looked over at Ian, and he was asleep, and I was like, what on earth? Oh, so basically I totally missed a bit of thing here. You can link up, he can link his phone to my phone, and I can see his results when he scans. So if he's at work and he scans, it will come through on my phone, which is great. And I was like, what on earth is going on with his blood sugar levels? He's had one of the worst hypos that he's ever had. So he told me when he woke up this morning that he went downstairs and he tested by pricking his finger to draw blood, and it told him that he was 5.6, which is good. But the machine in his arm was telling him that he was 2.6. So we need to figure out why there was such a huge jump, and he kind of was treating a hypo that he possibly wasn't having, so that's something that we need to figure out. So there's a new raid out, isn't there, in World of Warcraft, Nyalotha, and I am planning on doing a parody for it. I have the song, I just need to write the lyrics. But there's also another song that is just so perfect for N'Zoth, and I've decided I'm going to release 2 songs this time round. One of them is a cover because it's perfect, and if you can guess it in the comments then I'll give you a heart. But it's just perfect for N'Zoth. And then the second one that I'm planning on using is a Billie Eilish song, which you can't go wrong with a Billie Eilish song for a creepy place like Nyalotha, right? So I'm going to be doing that soon. I'm really behind at the minute because Ian was off Monday, Tuesday, so this week is kind of a no-go for doing that, but hopefully next week or the week after, maybe in about a fortnight, I should be able to get those done. And if you follow me on Twitter, I'm doing, I think it's 3 weeks worth of giveaways in a row. So the giveaway I'm doing at the moment is for Wampa, all the codes are EU. The second one is going to be something a little bit bigger, and then the third giveaway is going to be like the bigger one. So feel free to follow me over on Twitter, it's at sharmsong, and enter into those. All you've got to do is follow Warcraft, follow me on Twitter, and then retweet the original tweet. So that's it, it puts you in. So yeah, it's been really cool to catch up with you guys and to let you know everything that's going on. I hope you've been well. I feel a little bit out of practice, but yeah, I hope that you're all doing well. And oh my god, my channel got artist verified, so now I have a little musical note next to my name, which I'm very proud of. Billie Eilish has got one, and now I've got one. But yeah, have a wonderful week everybody, and I will see you soon.